Welcome back, guys. This is Arnaldo, aka Mad Dog, and this is The Real, episode 219 of GG's The Mouthful Podcast.
GG! Confirmed 219. Confirmed. Do we have the number? Is it?
We
happening?
We got that right. That right.
Yeah,
I think
so.
So.
All right.
We'll find out later in post.
Yeah, people will correct us, or whoever ends up editing will make fix in there.
Exactly. We'll do a quick edit.
Yeah,
it will sound like episode
219
of GG's Motherfucker. You know what I mean?
I think that has happened before.
I think it has. I actually listened to it, and it was pretty funny. Those voices, of course, first starting to my left, I assume, because I don't know where he is. He's virtual. Is Mr. David Santos, a.k.a. Dream Twister. What is up, sir?
I am on the, let's see, the west will be the left. No, I know that.
It depends on from which way you're staring.
I'm terrible with direction. I'm awful with directions. That could be its own topic.
You're directionally challenged. Don't worry.
I am directionally. I don't have a compass. I don't even have a moral compass. I don't know.
Wow. That's a little bit of a different issue.
No.
Okay.
No, sorry. I don't have a standard. It's like when people give me directions and they're like, "Oh yeah, head westbound on I-4." I'm like, okay, what the hell is westbound? I'm like, how do I know? What if my car is pointing north? Which one is westbound? So
I'm actually pretty good. Like right now, I know I'm sitting in my house and I'm facing south.
How do you know that? How can you tell?
Honestly, it's just like knowing maps. Like I know when I look at a map, the map you're almost always staring at it. The top of the map is north, the bottom is south. The right
You're
is
looking at the stars. You're looking at Polaris is on the southwest side.
So Mad Dog. I imagine Mad Dog's view, like the way he sees life. He has a compass, like in first person shooter games, like up top.
Yeah, he has a HUD.
Yeah, he definitely has a HUD.
Not to mention,
I don't
of
really
the three
know
of
why.
us, he has the biggest moral compass.
No.
I don't see how direction has anything to do with morality, sir.
I thought we were talking about compass. Let's just figure,
all forms
I also
of
have a compass that I use to make circles. I don't know, it's somewhere there.
Is it compasses or when you say plural?
Compasses?
Compi? No.
Compound. It's compound.
Compasses sounds wrong. So I think you just say compass and that I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyway, the other voice to my right, also known as East, is Mr. Hilberto, aka Chaos Reaper. Sir, how is it out in the East? Technically, he lives out in the West.
I don't know which direction I'm facing.
West side!
But I do have a moral compass.
Nice.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Everybody else is questionable, but his we know is there.
Yes.
Wow.
We can attest to that.
Yes, for sure. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. If this is your first time listening, please go to goodgame.rocks and join the conversation there. Takes us right to our Facebook group. And of course, please, if you're listening to this on any other services or on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone. What we normally do, guys, we go into first what we have been up to, move on into some various news items, and then finish with our hot topic of the week. This week's hot topic: 3 gameplay mechanics that we hate.
I would say that we dislike. Hate is such a strong word now.
It is.
And, under the current environment, it just feels wrong to bring it. Let's just say, 3 gameplay mechanics that we disapprove. I don't know.
I don't know, man. You're right. I just wish you would have told me this correction before I posted the actual thing with the word hate on it. But
No,
uh,
because then I wouldn't have been able to have this bit here. So.
fair enough. Fair enough. Obviously, guys, what we're talking about are just gameplay stuff that you just it comes with a lot of games, particularly the ones you enjoy, and you just can't stand. Or for us, we just can't stand. So we're gonna go, into some of these mechanics that we wish they would do away with, probably, or at least not do as much of. So anyway,
I would love to know what you guys' game mechanics that you particularly are not fond of. If you can share them, on the group, on the comments, it'll be great. We can make a list, and then we could bring it to the developers.
make a
From the
petition.
east side and the west side, of course, and make sure that maybe next generation may be better. I heard there's going to be a price increase now, so that means our games are better already, right?
The we can only hope. We could only hope. All right, guys. So let's start with what we have been up to, and I'm going to shoot it out to Mr. Chaos Reaper out in the east, also known as the west. What, sir, have you been doing?
A crap ton of Destiny.
I noticed that.
Oh my god, so much stuff.
The question must be, please, why? How come now? Why now?
I don't know. I was.
Well, thank you for that. Moving on.
Me and Dark were looking for something to get into, and it was between that and what was the other one that he mentioned?
The Division. Thank you very much.
But he never downloaded it. He
right.
just kind of like went back to Destiny. I mean, he started Destiny 2 for the first time. I went back to it.
Oh wow! So he was playing Destiny 2. Late bloomer. Okay.
Yeah. And let me tell you, my God, Destiny doesn't know how to guide you properly. Like, as a returning player, and as a brand new player that was Dark, we both had the same experience. I have no idea what the hell I'm supposed to be doing right now.
Yeah, the game was never great in directing you. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, you're supposed to shoot things up. That's pretty much the the gist of the story.
Well, yeah, but there's a bunch of there's new features that I had to unlock, and it doesn't really tell you how or anything. I don't know. Like, I picked up so many quests that I'm looking at my quest log, like I don't even know where to begin.
Come on, you just like the grind. You don't look at quest logs. Quest logs are for.
I do like the grind, but the quest log is part of it. I gotta get rid of all that stuff at some point.
I bet, yeah.
I've been focusing on just increasing my light level, which the hard cap the soft cap is 1050, and the hard cap is 1060 at the moment. In September 22nd, I think that's when the new DLC drops, which is called Beyond Light. They're gonna sunset a lot of the weapons, which means that they're not going to increase in light level weapons and armor. And some of the planets are gonna go away as well. They're gonna vote some of the planets, and they're gonna introduce new planets along with some of the old ones. If you remember, the Cosmodrome from Destiny 1 is gonna make a comeback. Also, the raid Vault of Glass is gonna make a comeback, which honestly I'm kind of excited to.
Vault of Glass. I've never been a like a rating type of guy, just because I don't have the time to, and I don't play as much. But I remember being ready for that one and going through it and trying to beat it before. What was the expansion that was coming out? Was it Forsaken?
No. It was a Crota one. If it was the first one.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's the first. Sorry. It was
something.
The Taken King.
The Taken King. Yes, I think.
Well, that was the last one for Destiny 1. I can't remember the name of the first.
No. I think, but I think that's the one. Yeah, that's the one that was
Okay.
coming. And I was trying to do, Vault Glass with a group of people. I think and Mando was in there
Yeah,
also,
yeah, I remember that.
and we just failed miserably. And I was like, God damn, I can't even. I could have had that achievement and then jump into the Taken King, the next day.
This is
And
what happens when you don't talk to me, bro.
no, yeah, you should have
Oh,
taken
this
my
was
place
years ago
actually.
now, though. Yeah.
I mean, we we carried a few people through the vault of glass a couple times.
How
Yeah.
long is it? How long was the Volta Glass?
Um, well, it really depends. The first time it took hours, but as you got more used to it, you could run it in like an hour and a half or something,
Yeah, it
probably less.
wasn't particularly, difficult, other than, I didn't know what I was doing. I was playing
Right,
with
right.
people that knew
Okay.
already.
The
So,
problem is that like it's easy when you know what you're doing.
yeah.
And I had that experience recently. I'm part of this clan in Destiny 2, right? And they took me and Dark into a raid, and it's called the Last Wish, which is an old raid. And honestly, I didn't get any gear that really improved me at all, except for I got an exotic out of it, a Huckleberry, which is an exotic submachine gun, which by the way is really good. At the very least, I got that. But every encounter, there was somebody in the raid group saying like, "Oh, this is easy," and I'm like, "Okay, but what do you have to do?" So like, it's easy, but here's a 30-minute explanation of everything that's gonna go down. And like, it's easy, and you want me to remember all of that? Like, I don't, I don't remember what was the first thing you said.
Wow.
So we spent 4 hours in an old raid to get one good thing. And by
I
the
have
way,
one request, sir.
what they were looking for, they didn't get.
Oh, that's even
Oh.
worse. I have
Yeah,
one
so
request, sir. Now that you have a weapon called the Huckleberry, I'm going to need you to use this line whenever you play the game again, and that is, "I'll be your Huckleberry." Or no, it's "I'm your Huckleberry." That's the one. "I'm your Huckleberry." You got to say it. You got to say it. Somebody's got to get it. If they don't get
I
it,
hope
then
so.
you're
I'm
in
gonna
the
be
wrong.
very disappointed.
Yeah, you're in the wrong group.
I'm in the wrong group evidently, but that's cool.
Wow. You know
No,
what?
I already
I
knew.
don't
Yeah,
know why I was not expecting that.
I know. I was like, I already knew he's not understanding.
Of course.
Um, so I've also been playing Apex, which they have a new event. They have the last few events they've been having this the trackers, which if you get all three completes a character. It completes the character of the event.
Mm.
I have the one for Revenant, and I think I have the one for Octane. Maybe not. But this one they have Loba and Lifeline, which I'm trying to get because I do play Lifeline a lot. Uh, Unfortunately, I don't think I'm gonna be able to complete it because I've really spent way too much time on Destiny 2.
On Destiny.
Oh my god,
No.
yeah! Like I've barely even touched Warframe. Like I think I logged in once or twice,
Whoa.
and that's about it. Yeah, and so like something new came out. There's a new story quest that came out that I have to absolutely do. Not to mention that I'm level 20 in the Nightwave, which is their kind of like pseudo battle pass, which is free.
Mhm.
Out of 30, so I gotta finish that as well. So, oh, by the way,
Wow.
Destiny 2 has a battle pass, which I'm pretty sure is not news to you guys, but it kind of is to me.
It kind of is to me too.
Yeah, and when I jump back in, when me and Dark jump back in, we started as soon as the new battle pass started, since they had
Oh,
the
nice.
whole thing on sale for $33 with all the expansion, which by the way, I already own the other expansions, but whatever.
Oh.
I got
Oh.
the battle pass included with the expansion, so I have this battle pass. You know, it does give a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That was
I,
good.
yeah. Well, I guess we'll see next one if it's oh they do have a like a bundle if you buy the new DLC with it's the deluxe digital edition. It comes with like 3 battle passes included.
Mhm.
So I mean, that's actually kind of good. So I'm thinking of actually getting that,
I'm
which
good.
is
I'm so happy to hear that we're talking about Destiny with like excitement again, because it wasn't until too long ago that we were like,
still
Destiny
dissing
2,
on
yeah,
it. Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, it was like the cool thing to do, but now you're enjoying it. It's like, hey,
Well,
my bad. I mean, no regrets.
I mean, I've always liked Destiny. It was just missing content, and now it has content coming out of its pores. A lot of
Yeah.
it, yeah, sure. A lot of it is more of the same. You know, you go somewhere, you kill enemies. Sometimes it's more specific than others. You know, a lot of the bounties and shit, and you don't have to raid to get the highest light level now, which is amazing.
Oh
By the
wow.
way,
Okay, cool.
yeah, you don't have to raid to get the highest light level. Like if you want the raid gear, sure, and obviously there's always one exotic tied to the raid, but you don't. Again, to get the light level, you don't have to raid.
Mm.
So to me that's a big draw. That means I can just go off on my own, do my own shit. Like I love playing Gambit Prime. I've met some people that absolutely hate Gambit Prime, but then there's also PvP, or if you want to do PvE. So there's plenty of stuff to do around. Again, I love doing Gambit Prime, which I've been doing a lot. I've gotten a lot of my gear from that. This week the Iron Banner is up, so I've been also grinding that out. A lot of grind, lots and lots of grind.
Chaos likes the grind.
Like the
Yes,
grind.
I am
Likes
definitely
the
the
grind.
grinder. I did watch. I started watching a TV show with my wife. It's called Legacies, which is kind of like this magic school thing. It's not precisely PG-13. I don't think it gets too R though. Like, there is some blood and whatnot. Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. It's had its moments, you know.
I might have heard about this actually. Yeah,
What's the name
especially
again?
when you
Give me the name.
described it.
Legacies.
Legacies.
I know it's the name is so
Generic?
You said oh, it's like magic box,
weird.
and I think I've read somewhere using
Magic
that
School.
magic school. Yeah, magic school. Yeah, not the magic box.
Yeah, no, not Magic Box.
Definitely not the magic box.
That is awesome.
It's like an R-rated version of the magic bus.
The Magic School Bus.
It's the bag. It's the bag bus.
That is great.
I
Oh,
did
okay.
sit
I see it
down
now.
to watch a movie which it came out in 2017, I believe, and I had heard about it. And I finally sat down and watched it. It's The Disaster Artist.
Oh, okay. How was it? I have not get a chance to see it.
It's a movie about the making of the best worst movie in history by Tommy Wiseau, The Room.
Wow.
Oh
good,
my
huh?
god. It's so awkward. The whole way through. This is just such a weird person. Like that's the hardest thing to believe, that this actually happened in real life. That the guy is actually like that in real life.
Yeah.
Have you seen anything of either The Room or the Disaster movie?
I do know of it, and I know what it's about. And I was actually going to bring up the acceptance speech that they had for, because I guess they won something, and not Best Picture, but they won something. And the main guy, the guy the things is after Tommy Wiseau, he was on stage and he was about to give his like everybody else said okay, because I think James Franco and everybody was involved, and he was about to say something, and they just kind of completely said no, we're good and shoveled him off stage. I was like, damn.
Dude, the guy is just weird. And in my speech class, no, not my, what's it, yeah, my speech class, the professor actually showed us a scene of the movie, and it is the weirdest scene I have seen. Like, he goes into this flower shop, and the whole interaction is so weird and like so out of cue, so like horrible acting the whole way throughout.
Yeah, it's known as, it literally is known as one of the worst,
the best
movie.
Worst movie,
yeah,
of all time. So if you have a chance to watch it, it's on Netflix. So it's if you have Netflix, it's free, I guess. Um, it is
Depends how you
worth the
look at it.
watch because it is absolutely hilarious to see how this. And nobody knows where he's from or how old he is to this day, as far as I'm concerned.
What's up?
Yeah, he just says that he's from New Orleans, but you listen to him and like, what kind of accent is that?
Cajun? No, it doesn't sound Cajun.
Have you heard him speak? No,
No, no, like I said, they were gonna. He was about to
bro.
say something. They pulled him off stage.
Just
So,
Google a scene from The Room, any scene that he's in. I'm telling
okay,
you,
will
and
do.
that's please, and you understand why it's just like no, dude.
All right,
But yeah, that's what I've been up to. Shit ton
all
of
right, good stuff.
Destiny, a little bit of TV sprinkled in it. You know, some
and some
Apex
and
and
some
That
some
of the
different
room
games.
as well,
Yeah.
and a shit ton of grind.
Oh yes.
That's
and a
the
shit ton of
chaos way.
grind.
And more to
Yeah.
come
Nice.
of that too. Like I have streamed a little bit here and there, by the way.
Yeah, I saw
Oh,
that you
oh
were.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Good
So I'm
stuff.
probably gonna be streaming more of it. So.
All right, Mister Dreamy Twister.
Dreamy
Go ahead, you.
Twister. All right. My turn, my turn. All right.
Twister of
So,
Dreams.
yes, don't ask. What have I been doing? I know I haven't seen anything in particular because I haven't been watching TV, but I did play a couple games. Unfortunately, it has been the usual that I've played before already. I got back into Chimera Squad, but decided to just play it as a tabletop game, basically, where not caring much about the story, not just caring about the mission, the mission of the moment.
Mhm.
Because the big problem that I have with the XCOM games is not so much with this one, because this one it's a little bit easier, believe it or not, than XCOM 2. But I don't like that you start so underpowered, and it, you have to play several missions before you start, getting like decent gear and stuff that makes the game a little bit more open, a little bit more fun. And so I'm still in the beginning chapters, and I'm just like, who cares, whatever, just tell me where to go. I do have to be careful because it's one of those games that you have to pay attention of your decisions, also like all the XCOMs, of course, but um you can screw yourself if if you don't make a right choice here early. And I hate that. Then this is not on my list of gameplay items that I hate, but I'm just gonna go ahead and mention it right now. Games where it freely allows you to fuck off at the beginning, and then you're playing hours later, and you regret the decision that you made at the beginning because the decisions that you made now that are not viable. Yeah, that sucks. That needs to go. But whatever. It's still a fun game, and I'm still hoping that it comes out to consoles. I don't see why it shouldn't, why it wouldn't, because it doesn't have anything particularly PC centric, And obviously, XCOM 2 is now on what, Nintendo Switch, I think.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty much everywhere at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah, I mean,
so
I was gonna
and
ask, will the controls be console friendly?
well, they were, believe it or not, XCOM. I think, Mad Dog, you played original XCOM original XCOM. Sorry, XCOM Enemy Unknown
Mm-hmm.
on the PlayStation, obviously.
PlayStation, yeah, it was
Okay.
on PlayStation 4. Yeah,
And,
and
and,
I
and I
actually have XCOM too. I just have not started. I own it, but I haven't done anything with it yet.
it,
So I look forward to it. But
it actually has very good controls because it's turn based. So and you will think that it will be a little awkward to navigate, but no, it's completely intuitive. It's actually this game, to be honest with you, I feel like this game was made with controller in mind, and then like keyboard or mouse, or yeah, keyboard and mouse would have been like, well, of course, you can click anywhere, you can do anywhere, so it doesn't matter. We don't have to work anything out, but they really worked out the controllers to where they made it very intuitive. Like when you're selecting where to move, you'll have an arrow showing you, the path that the person's gonna take and all that, and it's very, very easy. That's why I'm kind of shocked that they didn't release this one, the Chimera Squad, on consoles, because
I mean,
again, doesn't have
they
anything
probably
special.
will at
Yeah.
some point. It'll
Oh yeah.
probably do some sort of like shadow drop or some shit like that because that's usually what they end up doing.
Probably. They should do what they did and drop it like really low, because this game came out at $10, and now it showed up to its normal price, which is 19.99. But at $10, it's like, man, this you get
The
you get a
steal, right?
lot of game for that. Yeah, yeah. And I decided that also that at some point I'm going to need to start Last of Us 2, but not before I revisit, and finish again Last of Us and the DLC, which I never played. So I am trudging, through it.
Through what?
And
Last of Us, the first one?
Last of Us, yeah, the first one. Like I was playing, yesterday for a few hours, and I'm already at the section where I meet with the other couple of survivors, the guy and the kid.
Sam and I can't forget
Yeah,
the other. Sam is a
forgot
kid.
the
I
name.
can't remember the other one. Yeah.
Sam's the kid, yeah, and I forgot his name because I literally left it there.
Oh,
So,
okay.
but yeah, I remember, I remember that part of sort of being very powerful, very, very good. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it because I guess at some point I'm gonna have to jump into Last of Us 2, and uh,
You
can't wait to
definitely
hear your
should. If
thoughts.
you, yeah, if you have not, like, if you've not been spoiled on Left Behind at all,
No, I haven't.
then that's yeah. Then
I
you
mean,
definitely
I know the obvious thing, that is that one of the things that you, I guess, discover, but other than that, no, I really haven't. So I'm
yeah.
I'm
No,
looking forward to that
uh,
DLC.
it's definitely yeah. That one's
Yeah,
definitely well, it's probably really really well done.
yeah.
Um,
I did play a new game, or not a new game because you have talked about it already. Valfaris.
yes.
I play Valfaris. I gotta say,
You play
I
what? Oh, about Faris. My bad.
yeah, yeah. Uh, Speaking of games where you make some dumb choices that can fuck you up, in the middle of it, I gotta say this game plays amazing. It looks great. It looks amazing. Uh, it is tons of fun, and I'm fucking done with it. After maybe 4 hours, 5 hours, for 4 hours maybe. Who,
Oh, all
who
right.
knows? It,
You're
it felt
probably
like,
about
it definitely
halfway.
felt
What
longer.
happened?
Well, so this is what I'll probably pick it up again because I was having a good time with it. And to be fair, it is a great game. If I play it again, I know I'm going to start from the beginning because the thing with this game is, what I did not realize, because the game didn't, I don't believe it makes any mention of this,
No,
and
it
if
does
it
not.
did, I
I know
completely
exactly what
missed
you're talking
it.
about.
You
Yeah.
already know what the hell I'm
Yeah.
talking about. Is that you find this resurrection? They call them resurrection idols. Resurrection idols are basically your activate checkpoint. You remember? Um, have you ever played Shovel Knight? Where in Shovel Knight, you have the option of, as you're passing through the stage, there are these checkpoints where you could decide to take the checkpoint or not, or destroy the checkpoint, and not be checkpointed, obviously, for like money rewards in that case. So it
Mhm.
was a another risk reward situation. Well, and this is a little different because the checkpoint, the way it works is, you get this resurrection idols, and you can either use them on your next checkpoint, which every checkpoint that I that I found, I was using them, or you can keep them, not be checkpointed, but as or you can use them as upgrades, like upgrade points for your gear. right? Am I right, my dog, so far?
Yeah, from what I remember, yeah, there was a couple things you can use for it. But yeah, you can use a certain amount of items for that. Yes, you can skip by it. You can also turn it into. You can also use it to sort of almost like grind it into specific items you can use as well.
Hmm.
But
It's basically, hey, do you want a checkpoint here? Because if you die, you don't want to go all the way to the beginning, right? Or to your last checkpoint, however far that was. Or do you want to cash it and keep it so you can better your gear? And then I think I'm at a stage in life. I'm not gonna say that's a bad gaming, uh, a
mechanic,
bad gameplay mechanic,
uh,
right? But I'm at a stage where I just don't want to make that decision anymore. I don't want to make that decision of because then if I don't cash it, I know I'm not gonna be playing my best because now I'm nervous. I'm gonna be like freaking nervous the whole way because if I die, I have to go all the way back, and this shit is gonna be annoying really quick. And the game
I don't think
the
I've
game is
ever.
good.
Yeah,
Huh?
I don't think I skipped any checkpoint. You know what I mean? I think I activated one because there's so many of those idols about. And as you get more powerful, you can end up like the amount that you can carry at one time tends it starts to go up as well. So that alone tells you, oh, there, but you just have to search for them. You're gonna find a lot along the way, but there's also your random path that you can take and find like a
But you can
hidden
have
path.
more.
Yeah,
You can always have
correct. Yeah.
more to make yourself even stronger. Which is I will need it because as opposed to you, you tend to be really good on those type of games. Uh, I don't. So I can use all the help that I can get, and if it means making me feel like a badass as I'm playing, I'll go for that. But I don't want to make that decision anymore. And when I
Mhm.
realized, actually, I don't even remember how it was how it was that at one point it dawned on me like, oh shit, there probably could have been a couple of checkpoints that I could have skipped if I would have known. But of course, I wouldn't have known because I'm playing the game for the first time. Uh, I got to a boss that was like a skull, and he was attacking me, I think, with a sword, and there was some tentacles coming down from the earth, and it killed me. And I was like, well, that's it. I am not strong enough. XCOM Chimera Squad, here I come.
Okay, let's go with another one that will also do that.
I don't, this is, I'm ashamed to admit it, but I also have to come to terms with the fact that I just don't play games like I used to anymore, and there's some things that I just don't care to spend the time. And I mean, just look at no better example that freaking Last of Us 2 came out, a game that we've all been waiting for what, like 5 years, 6 years, or seven, however many. And I'm like, I'll get to it at some point. And then I start playing something else, and then I'm like, I'm done. Honestly, one of the reasons why I went back to Chimera Squad was I can't leave it on a backlog because my backlog is immense. I need to grab something that I just started playing recently and just go through it. And then when I was noticing the way that I was playing Chimera Squad was, let's just play a couple of missions and I don't care about the story. Now I had the time in my head. Now that I had the space in my head to dedicate to the story of Last of Us, and I did, and that's basically what I've been doing this week.
Nice, nice. All right. Well, for me, I guess I'll start with gaming. I finished Last of Us 2. And I think my final count on time was like 33 hours.
Oh,
Uh, so yeah.
I can't
So
wait.
yeah. Yes, exactly. So
33 hours.
33
Okay.
hours, yes.
of
Now,
that.
I will not. I will agree with you. I think personally, there's some fat that could have been trimmed. However, the overall story, and I won't spoil anything, and keep this completely spoiler free. But the overall story, when I think of the overall story, and I think of how would you convey that in a shorter amount of time? I don't know. There's some stuff that can be left out that will not impact it, but even then, you're really trimming it down to like 27 hours, maybe 26. If I look at it all together.
So what you're saying is that there's some stuff that could have been left behind.
There's some stuff that could have been left behind. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. As far as I finished the game, and I truly love the ending. It is a point of contention out there for a lot of people, but I really, really do love the ending.
That kind of worries me a little bit.
It's
based on the endings that you like to like, that you tend to like.
There's so many
that
points
could
of
mean
contention.
This game had an ending and it was not what you was expecting or wanting, but whatever. Or it could mean it never ended, or it just rolled the credit in the middle of it, and I'm fine with that because that's my story.
Okay.
So
well,
which one is it?
I will not say either, but realistically, I think that the ending makes perfect sense to the story it was telling. After beating it, I went ahead and started looking to see what the original leaks were, what people were saying about it. Maybe looking into why it's getting such low user reviews. And I can't say this in any other way than, man, people are just dumb. You know what I mean? People are just
fuck you, people.
Dumb. It's just like,
we've been saying that all along. Fuck people.
So realistically, so I'm keeping this completely spoiler free. Seeing the spoilers that were released. First of all, there's some of it that's not even true. You know what I mean? So there's that. You know what I mean? So there was assumptions being made. There was assumptions being made off of some images for whatever reason, and it literally was an assumption, and people took that and ran with it. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I can't believe they had this in the game. You know, and you're like, that's not even in the game. What the hell are you talking about? You know what I mean? And then of course you have a major plot point, which is a spoiler, and it is in the game, but the context, and it's just, it's really the scenario. If you do not play, you really have zero credibility to your opinion. You know what I mean? And what I think frustrates me the most is how, when I've read some of these comments, which I really shouldn't even be doing, because that's just a fucking rabbit hole you can fall into. But
that's on you. But you needed to. No. But to be fair, you needed to, because it was, everybody was talking about this, and like, what could have gone so quote unquote wrong, or this and that.
Okay, so I know, if you've seen the spoilers, I can't even say it, because like I said, some of it's not even true. So it's like, it doesn't matter. But the point is, you have to see the story through. And me personally, there were parts in it where I was like, I am not on board. You know what I mean? I'm not on board. However, I kept going. I kept playing, and I didn't play like I was just like, no. I was like, no, I'm still curious. I still want to see this story, because I really do like a lot of these characters. You know what I mean? And especially a lot of the newer ones. And so when you get to the end, it's really a sort of an epic journey, maybe a little too epic. You know what I mean? I can't say it's better than the first one. I can't say it's better than the first one, and I would easily admit it's not better than the first one. I think the first one had one. It was a little bit more self-contained in the sense that it's just two characters, and they're going through their through the story and whatever's going on, and it's really about them and their connection, and that's literally what leads to everything at the end of the first one. It's much more tight story. Here there's a lot of moving pieces, and for the most part they nail a lot of those moving pieces. Some of the stuff they don't nail, you know what I mean? And it's like, okay, hey, it is what it is. You're gonna have a 33-hour story, really. You're not gonna nail 100% of it, huh?
Right. Yeah. You're gonna exactly what you say. You're not gonna nail 100% of it.
Yeah. You're not gonna do that at all. Yeah, exactly. But I like the fact that this game challenges you to continue, to just say, okay, so blank happened. It is what it is. Let's see this through. You know what I mean? And when you see it through, dude, and let me tell you, this has some of the most epic moments, you know what I mean, that I've ever had in a game. And you also have some annoying ones. Like I said, there are encounters that even at some point I'm going, oh, I gotta. There's more of them. You know what I mean? Whereas like you feel like you just got out of the frying pan and now you land into the fire because there's more of them. It's just, and I get it because it's a game and I understand it, but at some point it's just like I just want us to get out of here without having another encounter because I don't have all the weapons I need. You know what I mean? I just want to.
Oh shit! So it gets like that. Does it get like challenging at that level?
It's never challenging to the point where I can't do it. But the way I play the game, and honestly, the way it's meant to be played, it is a stealth game, and it is a survival horror game. So you put all that together, it can be very, intense. And if you played any type of game where you're feeling the tension of what's going on, having that back to back is just like, oh man, I need to put control of that. I need to walk away for a moment, because it's just like I'm too tense now. You know what I mean? And it's still cool, but at the same time, it can be much. It can be a bit too much. So anyway, my point is to say that I really do like this game, and I really do appreciate what they tried to do. Did they nail it 100% of the time? No, they did not. Did I, again, I can't express how there was a point where I was like, I am not down with what's going on. You know what I mean? And I was like upset that I had to do, certain things. And it's just like, but I was also the way the story goes, it really changes how you see certain things at some point too. So it's, anyway, I feel like I'm saying a lot of nothing because I can't talk about specifics. But
no, actually, no. Quite the opposite. I was gonna say I was admiring at the level that I'm getting the feel of it without you spoiling anything in particular. Actually, you're doing a pretty good job. I was gonna ask you, and don't say if this actually goes into anything that might be considered spoilery. But I was wondering when you say I'm not down with this, if you mean like, is the game making you do stuff that you're not down with, or
yes.
Oh, okay, all right. So it's like a no Russian in Call of Duty.
Yeah, in a way.
Yeah, okay.
In a way, it's kind of like that because it's just like, man, this is not. It's just it pits you into a position where you're like, I understand. I just don't want to. Right. But I understand what you're trying to do, and I understand how we get in there. And because you don't know what the outcome is, you really don't want to do anything. You really don't want to be involved in it. It's like, this one is like, please let this be a cutscene. I just need it to be a cutscene. I don't want to be involved. That type of thing. You know what I mean? So
the game is like, nope, you don't. You play your own cutscene.
And let me tell you, there is no opting out of this shit. You know what I mean? It's just like you have no. Otherwise, you're just never going to progress. You know what I mean? So it's like, I guess we're doing this. You know what I mean? So,
wow,
that's exactly the position it puts you in. So, but like I said, by the end, it's just like you get it, and it's just like this release of tension. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, man, and And I'm sure you've heard, you're like, oh, it's they're talking about the cycle of violence. We all know that you shouldn't kill people, blah 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 blah. It's like, that's not, you've missed the point. It's like I said, you hear these people, you're like, you definitely either not play the game or miss the point completely. It's not the cycle of violence. It is really more about revenge. And so much so, I started actually like looking up shit regarding revenge, because it became like an obsession of my own. Of course, yeah. And there was this
rabbit
great
hole.
I know. I have a habit of falling into some seriously bad rabbit holes, but here's this. This is a line. This is a quote that I found from one of my favorite directors, Park Chan-wook, which is a Korean movie director. And he says, this is like quoting him. I didn't do this. Revenge is about something that has already happened. And when you're trying to achieve vengeance, you are investing your everything into a venture that will lead you to no benefit in the end. And that quote encompasses exactly what's going on
exactly. It's not like if it's a story about revenge, there's no happily ever after. Because the fucked upery that happened that caused you to go, oh, I need to exact my revenge. It already happened, and gaining revenge doesn't change that outcome. The best that you can achieve on a revenge story is, I have avenged. But everything, like, it doesn't change the fact that what happened.
Even that normally does not satisfy.
Right.
And that all these little bits are kind of brought into it. So anyway, I'm not gonna harp anymore on the game itself, other than to say that for those who don't want to play it because they feel they feel that it went in the direction that they don't want, or whatever the case may be, or even worse, they're a bunch of ignorant idiots who go, oh, this is a social justice game about LGBTQ, whatever, and it's like, no, you guys don't even bother. Don't even talk about it. Just go play something else, go play some other, whatever. This game doesn't need
Fortnite.
You. You know what I mean? Essentially. And so, but for anybody else who was on the fence, even after the spoilers, don't, first off, understand that some of it's not true, and what the rest of it is way out of context. And because of that, it is, if you liked the first one, if you liked it at all, if you loved the first one, then you owe it to yourself to play this. Are you going to love it? I don't know, because there comes a point where there's another point of contention, a major one, that people, you're either going to like it or you don't. And I started off not liking it, and by the end, I realized I did. It was meant to be that way. You know what I mean? And so it was just really well done. Anyway, moving on.
Also, it's a 30-hour game.
That was mostly me, because I constantly go off the beaten path. Right, I'm constantly going on. You can tell you can tell
that's the way it's meant to be played, though. You said it. I was saying the way it's meant to be played. Well, if they hide shit, you better find it. You better explore it.
The main story, you can go out, like, for instance, there you walk into a city block, right? And that because your person who's with you, whoever, is signaling, hey, we need to go over there, and it's already over there. But I'm looking at this, what looks like to be an empty store, and I can go in here. You know what I mean? And I don't have to go in there, but I can go in there. If I go in there, I might find something useful. I might find enemies. I might find, who knows, or maybe nothing. It's rarely ever nothing, for the record, but usually it's
because I remember in the first game, there's a lot of drawers that you will open and you get absolutely nothing.
Oh yeah, that still happens. That still happens. But I'm saying if you're looking individually, yes, but if you look at the entire building that you're in, you're gonna find some items that you need. You know what I mean? The problem is that you start looking for items because you need to stock up on something, and you run into enemies that force you to use your items that you have. You know what I mean? So it's like it's like this is almost pointless at some point. But anyway,
I started
that's
getting worried there when you said when you started saying like, I don't want to go into another encounter because I don't have the tools that I need. And I'm like, oh, does that mean he missed some, or does
oh
that
no,
mean the game is stingy with
the
everything? I mean,
no,
it
no, no.
is
Because
because it's
the reality is you. There's so many options for you to use in battles that you
Mhm,
really don't run around us. So like I may have been running out of bullets, for
mhm.
instance, but I had other stuff. You know what I mean? And it's just like I have other ways of taking people out. You know what I mean? And so, but I just didn't want to because I wanted to gain bullets. You know, just my normal gamer mind is like I need more ammo. You know what I mean? And I don't have more ammo right now. And now I have another set of encounters. I'm like, great. I'm either going to use the last two bullets I have here, or I'm going to have to start using my bow, which I'm not really comfortable with. I'll have to use, trickery, by throwing bottles over there so I can come over here,
Trickery.
Yeah, it's something, but the encounters are a lot of fun, for the record. And again, I get it. If it is stealthy, however, it is forgiving. You can, get out of view of stuff and run. The areas are much bigger, so you can kind of uh, get some separation from them and then kind of regroup. So anyway, it's good stuff, guys. Seriously. What I've watched, I have two things I wanted to say. I watched. The first one is called Crawl, and it is on Prime. I watched this on Prime,
The
and
star,
hmm?
the one with the crawl, as in the one with the star of crawl.
No, crawl, as in
Oh,
you get on the floor and crawl.
oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
the Kukudrulu movie. Gotcha.
Yes, and I got to tell you, as ridiculous as this film is, because it is extremely ridiculous.
Oh, I thought you
It's
were gonna
not
say because it takes place in Florida. Florida.
I mean, yes. On top of that, yes, it does take place in Florida, and obviously gators are all over the
So
place. And there's
Florida
a
man is in this movie.
Yes, yes, he is.
Probably many.
Yes, actually, quite a few. It literally feels like Florida. I mean, it's just one of those movies where you're like, man, they
They nailed
nailed
it.
the
Yeah.
Florida feel to it. So the character, basically what it is a hurricane coming, Category 5 hurricane coming to Florida. They lose a girl who's, I think she's in Georgia or some shit, and she loses contact with her dad. So she drives down for the hurricane to find him because he's not answering his phone. Not sure what's happening. Florida. Not sure what's happening. Turns out he's knocked out, and this is in the trailer for the record. He's knocked out, and she finds him. Like there's not a basement; it's like a crawl space underneath because Florida doesn't have basements. There's like a crawl space underneath the house, and it turns out these gators are all over the place, and man, are they hungry! They are extremely hungry and extremely aggressive. But let me tell you, it's a lot of fun. I can highly recommend this movie just for the silliness
What's the
and the
name?
fun. Crawl.
What the hell?
It is on. It's on. I've watched it on Prime. So if you have Amazon Prime, then it's already available for you to watch, and I think it's available on Hulu as well. It was available on multiple spots, but I watched it on Prime. Anyway, a lot of fun, silly, stupid. Special effects are actually pretty good considering. But yeah, so check that out if you want. If you don't, I understand. You know what I mean? It's what it is.
I don't want.
That's fine.
But
That's
thanks.
fine. That's fine. There's a line in the movie that made me laugh. Hilarious, which I had to actually post it, and that was a line where she's driving down. They're on the radio, and you hear the person on the radio goes, "Pasco County sheriffs have advised residents not to shoot their guns at the hurricane."
What the hell?
It was like, wow.
Why? What was
Nailed it.
what was the idea behind doing that
Who
exactly?
knows, bro?
Hey,
Who
man,
knows?
it's like in video game. If it bleeds, you can kill it.
But a hurricane doesn't bleed, right?
Then you can't kill it. How do you think the sheriff found out?
Yeah.
Oh,
I guess it doesn't die.
you're a wise man.
Oh my god. Anyway, and then the last thing I saw, which I actually saw today, which I've been waiting forever for, and I'm sure you guys already know, watched the presentation of Hamilton on Disney Plus, and I wasn't sure what to expect. I saw Hamilton in the theater when in the like the Broadway play theater, and wasn't sure what to expect. And man, is it amazing! It is so amazing. They nailed it. I
on TV. I mean,
yes.
because that was
and let me tell you, let me tell you, Disney has. This was an incredible move for them to do. You know what I mean? It is something. It's, by the way, I don't know if you can hear it. My wife's watching it again. This would be the third time it's playing today, for the record. So
wow.
it is such an entertaining film. Oh, say what you want. When we're done here, I'm probably gonna go out there and watch it again. It's just so well done.
I want to watch it. I need to watch it. But at the same time, it's like, should I watch it this way, or should I actually? Is it one of those things that no, you gotta experience the actual.
Well, here's the reason why I think it worked. And I actually looked up some of the reviews, and a lot of the reviews were they were almost all positive, if not all positive. The one complaint a lot of people kept bringing up was the camera selections and how they, where they were focusing at. And I can kind of, to an extent, understand what they're saying, but as someone who saw that in the theater and was not sitting very close, I appreciated the close-up shots because you can see the emoting and you can see their faces and you can see how they're delivering their lines, and it's a musical, so it's all music, but how they're delivering the music, and it's amazing. And I was just like, this is way better than I would have expected. You know what I mean? And and I honestly highly recommend everybody. And I'm not trying to give Disney more money here, so if you can borrow somebody's login, then do that. You know what I'm just trying to say.
Hey, Mad Dog, can I borrow your login?
I was just going to say, hey, what's your username and password?
I asked nicer. I asked it a nicer way.
I'm just going to put it here. Everybody who's listening, just go in and just go in and listen.
It is GG.
No. It is. It's honestly, it's one of those things where I'm like, because of the fact that we are still sort of locked up, because we really can't go out. You can't go to a movie theater. You can't go, some movie theaters are open now, but they're very few, and ticket prices, or rather tickets are minimal half the time. But it's also dangerous. You can do that, but you need to, you know what I mean? Just to go see a fucking movie. And here they present something that is probably one of the best Broadway plays in the last 50 years. You know what I mean? For everybody to be able to see the entire thing from beginning to end. And let me tell you, the performances are top notch. It's just intense, man. It's just an intense show. I mean, there are songs that literally bring me to tears. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, man, every time I hear this fucking song, it does this to me,
every time.
And this freaking song. But it's just like, I'm amazed and happy that it's available for everybody to see it. And it's like one of those things where, like, man, since there's nothing else to do, this is a beautiful thing for everybody to be able to have. You know what I mean? So
you're starting to sound like the Pippin fans.
The Pippin?
Yeah, the Pippins. Pippins. What Pippin was? It's another one of those actually. And I had a friend that she was like very into that play.
Oh, it's called Pippins. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, Pippin.
No, I don't know
how to. I might be mispronouncing it, but I'll find it. Anyway,
but that's fine. Yeah, but no, realistically, first of all, everybody should see this anyway. In here you can see it for the low price of $7 a month, for the record, or you can wait till it comes out in Broadway again and spend $300 on a ticket, whatever you want to do. You know, I mean, because that,
from what I heard, that $300 might be very worth doing. So
it for sure is, but this is no less a good way of seeing it as well. It's really a wonderful thing. So
there you go.
But yeah, anyway,
I just posted it there.
Oh, okay.
You might want to check that out.
Yeah.
Pippin musical.
Really good. Okay. Yeah. All right. But anyway, yeah, that's all. That's all I've been doing. And we're back, guys, and it is now time for our useless news that you can use. And I'm going to start off with the PlayStation Plus games for July 2020.
Oh, what do we got?
Let's see here. We have, first and foremost, Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. Rise of the Tomb Raider comes to the PlayStation 4. I already own and beat it.
I was about to buy that game, actually.
Really?
Well, hey, now you can buy it for free.
I was about to buy that game. I was going to buy it on PC. But, hey, if it's there.
It was free or not free, but you know what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other game is a highly anticipated game that I'm sure all three of us will be playing at one point, and that is NBA 2K20. Yes, sir, the 2K franchise.
Oh, yeah, highly, super highly anticipated.
Yeah, dude.
Not.
You know what's something funny?
Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen.
I actually have.
Pippen.
I want to say it's 2K16. Like, they had it for free at one point, and I actually tagged it, then downloaded it, started playing it, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm not into this shit."
I'm gonna do the exact same thing with this game as I did with 2K16. Just look at it, wave at it goodbye, and watch it pass by.
I don't even want it in my library.
Yeah,
I mean, here we are hating because we don't play sports games. Probably a manager at a decent sport game. We don't know because.
We don't care.
We don't
exactly. But I'm pretty sure that it'll have its fans. Some people might be happy about that.
Oh, no, I'm sure there'll be a bunch of people.
Go ahead and download it if you are.
There is a third game.
Let us hold you back. What?
Yes, a third game this month. It is called Erica.
For Vita?
No, this is for PlayStation 4. What do you mean for Vita? Vita's dead, man.
Wow.
Yeah. And then, so it's called Erica, which actually, believe it or not, I actually already own. I actually played this game with my wife. Erica is a interactive thriller, very similar to Netflix had one for Black Mirror, where it was like an interactive movie. Yeah. So this is very similar to the what? In the movie? Yeah.
I had some hilarious death there, though.
Get good.
Yeah. So this is very similar to that. It's not really technically a game, but it is interactive. We'd enjoyed it for what it was. It's sort of a, whodunit thriller, so it's actually pretty cool. And hey, it's also free, so why not?
Yeah, why not?
Who's next?
That was great. I guess I'll take it up.
Yeah, I'm still making coffee, by the way. That's why I'm not even at my desk.
You could have said that, sir. Just say anyway.
Well, you guys said, let's start recording, and I figured, okay, so we're gonna banter for a little bit, and we're back. I'm like, I guess we are.
Well, like I said,
coffee, anyone?
We were getting way too into the subject, and might as well talk.
We might as well be recording the good
right,
stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. So I got this news earlier today by Dark, who actually sent it to me and another friend of ours. Evo Online canceled after co-founder accused of sexual misconduct.
Ooh.
Joey Cuellar has left the company. I hope. Well, who cares?
Left the company because they made him.
I mean, I hope so. Damn. I'm reading this off The Verge. Fighting game tournament organizer Evo has canceled Evo Online and removed its co-founder and president from the company after serious allegations surfaced about his past behavior. The long-running esports event had previously been scheduled to take place in new online-only format starting July 4th due to the coronavirus pandemic, surprising nobody. Joe Queller, what
Queller, yeah, that's
Joey
what.
Queller, whatever,
Yeah.
will no longer be involved with Evo in any capacity, the company said. Tony Cannon and other of the organization's co-founders will act as CEO going forward. Queller apologized in a tweet and said he was not proud of his past actions. After you get caught, nobody usually is. The announcement of the event's cancellation came less than 24 hours after fighting game player Mikey Crack PR on alleged that Queller had behaved inappropriately towards him and a number of other teenage boys in the 90s and early 2000s. Following the allegations, multiple companies pulled out of the event, including Capcom, NetherRealm, and Bandai Namco, as well as players and commentators, according to PC Gamer. Wow. Could this be the death of Evo?
Well, it'll probably. I don't think it'll kill. I mean, definitely killed it this year. If COVID didn't do it, this one just put the last cap on its ass. But, but I mean, Evil is huge to die like that, and honestly, it's gonna depend on how they handle this situation now. As far as I mean, they're doing the right thing, right? They fired they fired the fucker, and they publicly, how do you say that, when they actually publicly like this, not disavow,
they distance themselves from him. I mean,
yes, yeah, pretty much, yeah. So I don't think it's the end of Evo again. I surely will hope not. But
well, what Dark assumes is that I think it's Combo Breaker is the next big tournament after Evo. He's saying that now Combo Breaker will be the biggest one instead of Evo.
That'll be the new Evo? Okay.
Yeah.
Could be. Yeah.
All right.
Could be.
So,
that's
I don't know. Let's see what happens with Evo now going forward. Obviously, this year, probably nothing will happen. So,
this year is
tumultuous future there for Evo as a company.
Oh man, what is happening with this industry lately?
Not lately, world lately,
forever.
Yeah, because these are like 20-plus-year-old allegations. So
it's kind of disgusting to hear the stuff that that comes out. It's with all the sexual harassment cases and abuses, and
I mean, I'm glad people are speaking up. It's just sad that it actually happened in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. All right, so on to some lighter news. Horizon Zero Dawn comes to PC on August 7 via both at the Epic Game Store and Steam. The formerly a PlayStation 4 exclusive, mind you. Guerrilla Games announced Friday that Horizon Zero Dawn will be available for the PC on August 7. Titled Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition, it will be available on both Valve Steam storefront and the Epic Game Store. Horizon launched on PS4 exclusively in 2017, quickly racking up numerous nods as one of the best games of the year. Polygon included
my game of the year, by the way.
It would have been, but Nier came out that year, so actually no, it was Doom. No.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was something else.
Yeah, but it was Zelda the one that took it.
It was Doom was 2016, so 2017 was.
It was Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Well, that was not mine. I'm talking about mine.
Oh yeah, I know, but
mine might have been something else. Anyway, I know this and fucking amazing game, fucking great game. Let me tell you, it is. It is. I'm happy to see that it's getting a proper release because on PC. I mean, I've heard already people are saying that the port is really really good. That it has all the all the.
Oh, did you see the? It has like a lot of like tinkering for you PC guys that love to fucking tinker. Yes, you didn't see the trailer. The trailer was just like, man, these guys are gonna fucking eat this shit up.
I keep wanting to go back to that game just because of how awesome it is. I love that world.
It is a really good game. I'm not sure if I'll double dip because I've seen it, like it happens too many times already where I'm like, oh yeah, the PC version. I played this game already to completion, but now I can play it again on PC and I'm gonna be rad. And then
no,
I'm like,
it's hard to go back and like
it's hard to go
scratch at the beginning. playing again.
Yeah. It's like I already played this. Sure, it looks, it might look and run nicer, but that awe is just gonna last for what, the first few hours, and
Yeah,
then
at
like, okay,
most. Yeah, then after
done.
that, it's
Yeah,
like, okay, I'm
yeah,
good.
I've got my
yeah.
fill.
I'm looking at this Stranding. I'm like, man, that's Stranding, huh? I can carry some more boxes,
You
maybe.
know, that happened to me with Darksiders 2, which I absolutely love. When I first got it for on the PlayStation 3, I spent countless hours on it. And then I got my PC and I saw it, I bought it, and then I played it for a little bit. I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, it's like, okay,
It
yeah.
looks great and I love it. I'm good.
Yeah, dude,
Wow.
Monster Hunter in PC, it's like friggin' amazing. It's Monster Hunter world
Yeah,
without the loading times.
I wouldn't do that
So,
either. No way.
but I'm like, oh, and they have priced it as low as $15, and I'm like, I should fucking jump on it, but I know what's gonna happen already.
I wouldn't do it. After I have probably I tell it like 500 hours or 700 hours on that game.
Jesus, and there's more content coming to it now.
I know. I haven't gone back to it.
I want to. That game was great. That game was really good. I like those.
It was.
I mean, I've always told you guys to go back into it like a gazillion
those
times.
Palicos. Yeah, I know.
You suck. Anyways, Mad Dog, what's your next piece?
My second and final piece for the evening, guys. Amazon Studios has licensed the rights to the worldwide best-selling game franchise Fallout, and will be brought to Amazon Prime exclusively by acclaimed producers Jonathan Nolan, brother of Christopher Nolan, and Lisa Joy's Kittler Films attached to the project. Currently, development is for a series. There really isn't much on this. This is really just they teased it on a tweet, and obviously they just, hey, we're doing it, so we don't know if it's going to be connected to any particular any particular chapter of Fallout, or if it's going to be inventing its own. Personally, I hope it just invents its own. I think every iteration has a different vault, different story, different whatever, and I think that they can do that here. There's no reason why they can't.
I agree, but they should definitely throw in connections to the more, because I know that every game has a reference to the other games.
That's fine.
Connect that'd be great. But I mean,
as long as they don't connect it to Fallout 76, we're good.
Right? No, for sure. But it's like I was telling Mad Dog off air. Like, this is a game where the lore is set, but the lore is also kind of like you can do whatever you want with it. I mean, the world went to shit after this atomic war happened. Just go do whatever the hell you want with it. I mean, you have the room for it.
My only concern is that it's one thing to show cities that are empty, maybe even with some overgrown whatever. It's another thing to show cities that were blown to hell by nuclear, or whatever. So
a lot of green screen.
It's either going to be that, or it's going to be a lot of tricky editing, and all that stuff costs money. So I don't know, what I'm saying? And if there's one thing we know about these things, they generally, the first season of a lot of shows, the budget is just under probably what they want, what they need.
You're right. And this is why Fallout works perfectly for this, for this delivery.
That's how I feel about it.
Because the whole first season that needs to be low budget is just inside the vault, and then the season finale is getting out into the open, and that's where you take off.
That would probably go apart with some of the games. That's how the games start. You start in the vault, like Fallout 3. You basically are born inside the vault. You quite literally are. So
and generally when they leave the vault, it's because, or by the time they leave the vault, it's because all hell has broken
shit went
loose.
down. By the way, the beginning of Fallout 3 is one of my favorite beginnings of any game ever, because I thought it was so cool how they did it.
You need to if you enjoy that, you need to go to the original the original Fallout game. It's not a game I'm going to tell you. Oh, you need to play this because it doesn't it stands the test of time, but probably not for a few of us. Anyway, that whole game, the way he sets up the world in such a not saying much but saying a lot. Actually, it kind of says because at one point it starts with the war. War never
War
changes.
never changes.
Yeah. So we start with that, dude. That intro, like you should YouTube that intro because it is just amazing. It sets the tone so fucking well. If you like the beginning of Fallout 3, that intro, like one of the best. To me, it's the same feeling but with Fallout 1, the original Fallout.
Okay.
You
I'll
should
see. I'll
YouTube
check
that.
it out. I'll YouTube it.
Yeah. Hey, Mad Dog, I sent you a bonus there that I mean
Yeah,
you need to talk about. Come on,
I mean,
not gonna
I
live
watched
without
it.
talking about this.
Okay. Well, fair enough. Let me hand it over to Chaos. We'll do a circle around again.
We'll
All
circle
right.
around. There
Chaos,
you
what's
go.
your
My
next one?
my second and last piece, because I only had two. This is
Oh, I
a
found you one too.
controversial piece of news right here. I cannot believe the world must be coming to an end. This is definitely signs of the end time. Fortnite finally leaves early access.
Oh shit! Oh no!
No,
Oh, that's gonna be my
kidding.
I can't believe it.
that one of the seals have been broken.
For sure, one of the trumpets have been sounded. It says, "Save the World won't be going free to play after all." Meow meow meow.
You don't get to save the world
No, yeah,
for free.
for the entirety of the three people that were playing that mode.
What really was Fortnite,
Right,
the
right.
real game Fortnite. So
Because
in a sense, we can.
Everybody knows Fortnite because of the Save the World mode, of course.
Yeah, exactly. It's so basically Fortnite is it's a colossal failure. Then I guess, right?
Yeah, of course,
You know?
yeah. Completely failed in what it was trying to do. So
Yeah.
again, this is Off the Verge. Fortnite's iconic battle royale game mode took the world by storm, and today Epic Games announced that it will finally be removing the early access label from both the free-to-play shooter and the less popular, that's an understatement, original Save the World mode. Epic also announced that Save the World will continue to be a paid title separate from the free-to-play battle royale because that's basically pennies what they're making. So they're like, fuck it, at least let us just leave it there for whoever wants to buy it. And with the official, quote-unquote, official launch, it'll start slowing down the release of content for Save the World because we don't care for it.
Listen,
Some of these
son.
things may or may not be paraphrased by me.
Listen, if you think, I mean, that is scary enough as apocalyptic as it sounds, right? The final release of Fortnite out of beta. Let me hit you with the second sounding of the trumpet and the second.
Excuse me.
The second, the second seal has been broken here in the next one that I have. Amazon's Crucible flopped so hard that it is being unreleased.
I'm sorry. What is that?
Exactly. So, Crucible, not to be confused with Destiny's Crucible.
With Destiny's, that's what I thought of. Like, wait, why are we talking about PvP now?
No, well, kind of. Crucible. It was Amazon's Game Studios' first attempt at a battle royale with heroes. Maybe was it something like that? I don't know. Nobody knows because nobody fucking played it. So this actually is coming from Kotaku. It says,
"Wait, that's a game."
That is a game,
Mhm.
yes. Crucible was the first game from Amazon Game Studios. You know that Amazon was, they bought studios and they wanted to, but basically
very
release,
promising
the game.
start there, Amazon.
Yeah, very, I
start.
would say. I mean, it's an industry first. I mean, they basically backpedal on the release.
Jesus.
In this era of constant updates, game leave closed beta on a regular basis. They don't often re-enter it, however. However, like a groundhog emerging to unsee its own shadow. Wow. Amazon's team-based shooter Crucible is no longer a fully released video game. Crucible's post-launch release beta comes on the heel of a rocky launch,
To
which is
say the
considered to
least.
be, to say the least, yeah, which is considered to be both a home critical response and a hollow thought of a landing on platforms like Steam and Amazon's own Twitch. In a developer update posted, uh, Crucible's franchise lead Colin Johansson said that the game is entering closed beta tomorrow. Well, it already passed. But it will continue to follow the development roadmap that has been previously laid out. The main goal on this unprecedented on release is to more closely evolve the game in line with community feedback. And then there's a quote that says, we're setting up a community council made up of beta participants of all play styles, from casual to highly competitive players, who will be working especially closely with, says Johansson. And the quote continues. One of the biggest changes you'll see is that we're going to schedule dedicated time each week when we as devs will be playing with the community and soliciting feedback. Uh, End quote. This means that if you're not a Crucible player already, you'll soon have to sign up through the game's website in hopes of gaining access if you want to play the game while it's in re-beta. uh, if you're already a Crucible player, Johansson said that the game will stay pretty much the same while it's in beta. So yeah, this has been an unprecedented move, you know.
So it went back into beta?
Yeah, it was like this release that happened. No, it didn't happen. We're gonna unrelease it. It's gonna go back to beta. You know, God knows for a while.
Talk about a redo.
Well, which we have some on the industry, right? Some amazing redos or have been better handled. Final Fantasy 14 versus Final Fantasy 14 Realm Reborn. I think that was handled very well, actually. You know, destroying the world and remaking it, reborning it, or whatever. But just saying, no, you know, just taking a mulligan on it. It feels kind of like, what? So is that a thing now? You can do that?
Apparently.
What about the people that? Yeah, I don't know. It's fun. It's fun.
That's awesome. All right, so time for my surprise last piece that well, I knew of.
But wait, there is more.
Oh wait, there is more.
Excuse me.
I knew about this because I actually saw it when it got released. I just didn't know if anybody would be interested in it. I don't want to bring it up. That's really what.
Oh, come on, this is important though.
I mean, to me, it is. I mean,
no.
I'm super excited.
Don't withhold information. We're the press.
Fair enough. Sony's Shuhei Yoshida has announced the PlayStation's Indies Initiative, which will spotlight new games for smaller developers during the course of today. This was back on July 1st. 9 indie games for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 will be revealed. In a post on the PlayStation blog, Yoshida writes, with PlayStation Indies, we hope to spotlight and support the best of the best indie games being published on PlayStation and the entire indie community as a whole. Our goal is to make PlayStation the best place to develop, find, and play great indie games. And they had 9 total that were shown off, many of which I already have on my watch list. Because I'm like, yep, I'm in.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Yeah. And some really, really good looking ones. There's only 9. I'm just going to quickly go through the names. First one is a 2D action platformer with a diesel punk inspired Metroidvania called Fist. Fist is an acronym that stands for Forged in Shadow Torch. I think it should stay as Fist. But Maquette, which is a first-person puzzle game, very similar, or at least it's been drawing comparisons to The Witness. Where the Heart Is, which is a narrative adventure coming also this winter. It's a sort of a story-based game, story-based adventure game. Creeks, which is actually really on the list. This one's coming out in a few weeks. This is a hand-drawn adventure puzzle game. Looks really, has the art style that's very, very I don't know, very attractive to me. Heavenly Bodies is a 2D physics-based action puzzler. That one I'm not too big on. Recompile, explore, fight, and hack your way through a virtual landscape that'll react to your actions as you try to escape deletion and recompile,
Ooh,
which is a
That sounds
exploration-based.
that's interesting.
Yeah, it's an exploration-based hacking platformer, which actually looks pretty cool. Carto, one that I'm not about this one, but Carto is an upcoming adventure game that utilizes a world-shifting puzzle mechanic. That one's set to come out this fall. Haven, which I've actually seen many a times, share the journey of two lovers escaped to a lost planet in a desperate attempt to stay together. You play as U and K, gliding over grasslands of a shattered planet, unraveling its mysteries and finding a way to settle in for good. And then the last one, Worms Rumble.
Wow,
Yes.
that's
This is
Princess
a
back.
Worms is back in it's an arena-based 32-player cross-platform extravaganza that puts a spin on your favorite warmongering invertebrates. So
Okay.
yeah.
All
So
right.
lots of little games. I'm all about the indies, guys, because if there's one thing that I can definitely say that you get from the indie market is just bold decisions. You know what I mean? You know,
Yeah.
you get a lot of stuff that, like, you know, EA or these or Activision will be like, nah, we're not funding that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. All right. Do we have anything else? I have.
No, that's it for me.
that's all I
Okay.
got.
I might. I will not last thing real quick. Nintendo president apologizes for Switch Joy-Con drift issue. Nintendo president Shuntaro Furukawa has apologized for the infamous Joy-Con drift Switch and Switch Lite that users have reported since launch. Some Switch users have reported problems with the Joy-Con drift since the console launched in 2017, and Nintendo president has now apologized for this issue. And the quote says, "Regarding the Joy-Con, we apologize for any trouble caused to our customers," said the Nintendo president. We are continuing to aim to improve our products. Well, how can you aim if your Joy-Con is still drifting? Huh? But as the Joy-Con, that was terrible. But as the Joy-Con
Jesus
is
Christ.
the subject of a class action lawsuit in the United States and is still
What?
in pending issue, we would like to refrain from responding about any specific action. Back in July of last year, the law offices of, I'm not gonna pronounce that, something, someone, and someone filed a class action lawsuit against Nintendo over the Joy-Con issue. The issue stems from control sticks going off the center after extended use, making the stick drift slightly during play. For some players, it is a major problem. That kind of fucking sucks.
It does.
Taking what 2 years to acknowledge the problem and no plan of action in reality. So basically, what's happening is they are waiting for the outcome of this class action lawsuit. You know, if it gets dismissed, they don't have to do anything because it's Nintendo, and Nintendo can never do wrong. If it comes to something where it hurts monetarily, then I guess they'll take the appropriate action by them. But I don't think they're going to be offering to fix this issue at all because the switches are out there.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah,
It'll cost them a lot, although it should, for the record. You
we
know,
should. I mean, yeah,
as a
you
business,
got to
they're like,
defect the
look,
problem.
is this? Yeah, exactly. And honestly, it's the problem here is not as severe as, say, for instance, the Red Ring. Like the Red Ring, there wasn't a choice.
Well, yeah,
You
the
need
red
to go
ring
fix
was
that shit.
fucking yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't a choice.
And
It
he
was
did.
brick, huh?
And they did.
Yeah, and they did. Yeah. But this, unfortunately, this doesn't seem to be as severe, and they're like, they're taking, I don't know.
So we drift a little bit,
Yeah, learn to
We call it.
you learn the curve, and then
Yeah. We call it gameplay assistant. The game nudges your character a little bit to the left automatically for you. It's a
I'm just glad I
feature
haven't run into that shit. I'd actually be pretty pissed off, but
that you
I hate
know of, that you have noticed.
that I have noticed.
I don't
True,
know. I haven't noticed on mine either. But then again, I don't play my Switch that much. So
Ditto. So
yeah.
all right, guys. Well, that brings us to the end of the new segment. We'll be right back with our hot topic.
Hot topic.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and it is now time for the hot topic of the week.
Hot topic.
Thank you so much. Hot topic again, guys, is the 3 gameplay mechanics that we hate. And when we say hate, we really mean, we just fucking hate it. Yeah. For sure, we
don't mean we dislike. We don't mean that. No,
we're meaning that this shit needs to stop.
Yeah.
So this was, of course, brought up by our very own Mr. Dream Twister. So I'm going to shoot it over to him to get us kicked off with his first of 3 gameplay mechanics that he cannot in any way stand.
Oh man! All right, so I didn't mean to bring the super hate on it, because some of this, I would say, grand majority of my list, I would say it's not. First of all, I have like 5, but I'm gonna stick to 3. They're not
games,
things that
he hates games. Just saying.
No, yes, I do hate games. No, I don't want them completely gone, because obviously there are important gameplay elements, and which in some games, when done right, they can add, I would say they add a lot of value. They add something different and exciting and real cool to do, that could break the monotony of, well, everything else that you're doing, if you're shooting, if you're matching 3, whatever. And in first place, it should come as no surprise. I'm just gonna get it out of the way. Stealth mechanics.
Whoa.
I don't like stealth mechanics.
I saw it coming a mile away.
Of course, I needed to get this out of the way. Because this is a known dislike of mine, and I'm not gonna say that every stealth mechanic is bad, and that we should not have it. I particularly, believe it or not, really enjoy the stealth mechanics on the Metal Gear games, and I know they have been done better on other games, which right now they don't come to mind.
Hitman. I always thought that you always hated
Hitman.
Stealth game. Yeah, that's a stealth game.
That's a stealth. That's a game that is stealth. The game, yes, and
it's pretty well. It's so weird that you love that one, and yet you're not a fan of stealth mechanics.
Because exactly.
That's right up there with Metal Gear on stealth levels.
True. It's one of those game mechanics that, when done right, you could actually get a whole game based on it only and enjoy it quite a bit. But games like, well, fucking like Last of Us that I'm playing right now, because it's the first one that comes to mind, where
or Spider-Man.
Or Spider-Man, although I feel like in Spider-Man, you're talking about, I assume, Marvel Spider-Man.
Yeah, Marvel Spider-Man.
I feel like
were annoying.
I feel like it wasn't as punishing, as in some games. And not to say that it's impossible. Like, if you get caught on Last of Us, it's game over. Usually it could lead to it, or it could lead to you wasting a lot of your scarce inventory already, to the point where you're like, well, I don't want to continue this. I obviously fucked up, and let me just reload a save game. And that shit gets annoying when breaking stealth becomes, very punishing. In games like Metal Gear Solid, for example, it could become it becomes deadly, but you can usually get away from it relatively quick. In games like Spider-Man, all you needed to do was just swing yourself out of there for a couple blocks, and that was it. As
Oh,
soon as
no,
the
no, no.
enemy
I'm
broke.
talking like the Mary Jane or the
Oh,
portion was like
that, yeah, no,
Yeah,
no,
Miles
fuck,
Morales. Like,
and yeah,
yeah,
that,
those sections.
yeah, any game where the stealth mechanic, if it's broken, is an automatic game over, can suck my dick.
I hate
That
those. Yeah.
that is unquestionably the worst thing. You might as well put freaking uh, the when you what was those things called when you had to press the button real quick? Quick time events.
Quick time
Might
events.
as well give me quick time events at that point, because like fuck that. Don't do that.
Yeah,
Don't
that's
do that.
definitely the worst. And the worst is obviously when it's not done right, and you don't know. You're left with who saw me, how did they see me. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But you have to do it over. Splinter Cell did that as well. We had a couple of stealth moments. I mean, the game is stealth as well, but there were a couple where like, oh, you can't be seen. You can't even have an alert of anything. And it's just like, oh, you have
Oh
to
yeah,
run and
that
you
was
got to do it
ridiculous
over.
because
Yeah,
the game was about stealth
yeah,
and
yeah. And I was like,
dealing
oh,
with
come on.
stealth.
Yeah, but
So
you should be able to like. Well, guess what? If stealth falls apart, you should still be able to get on with the
have
game. It's like
yeah, yeah.
hey, it is what it is. I hear you.
Yeah,
I hear you.
yeah. And to be fair, I mentioned Last of Us only because it's the latest one that I'm playing, not because it particularly does it like really bad or anything like that. Because it does not. I actually think Last of Us does it, pretty well. Where you're like listening first, to the step, which I kind of find myself leveling up more the listening portion, the
Mm-hmm.
listening farther rather than increasing my health. Because I'm thinking if I need to fight, I'm fucking done. So I might as well just be prepared, check where everyone is, and increase my hearing. So when Last of Us, you have that. If you get discovered, then yeah, you can still get away. It's not an automatic game over. Like if a clicker hits you or whatever. But like I said, at some point, even if you get yourself out of it, it feels like, oh no, but I am too in the hole, too much in the hole on this one.
Mm.
So that's why they're
All
not
right.
particularly my favorite.
Stealth mechanics is on the chopping block, Mister.
Yes. Kill him with fire.
Mister.
Oh, you know what? We should then pick our own the three. Rank them or something like that at the end to make it more exciting. Anyway, go ahead.
Mr. Chaos.
You're just spitballing, aren't you?
What? Yeah.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
is,
Let's just make it. Yeah, go ahead.
what is your first
okay.
one?
My first mechanic, and like I understand why they limit inventory space on your character. Like I get it. You can't realistically carry everything on your person, even though some games actually do let you. But my biggest complaint is why not just have an unlimited fucking vault? Why am I limited to whether I can carry my person or a tiny little bank that holds like 4 pieces?
Resident Evil.
Anybody?
Oh my god! Yeah.
or in RPGs, like if I were to log into my character on Final Fantasy 14, I am fully loaded on items and on both my retainers. Like I am full completely.
But I would say if it's letting you carry like 100 items and 100 is your limit, then I am kind of okay with, well, at some point you're a mule, and you should probably drop your shit off at some bank or sell or discard or craft or do whatever.
But that's what I'm
Don't be
saying. Like
hoarding.
those games that don't have banks, like why don't you have a bank?
Oh, because he doesn't have a bank. Oh shit, no.
But
way.
even like on a game like Destiny, right, where you have hundreds of exotics, like do you just delete your exotics?
No, he has a bank.
Oh god, no. That sounds
Exactly. But now there's like I'm probably gonna have to check again. There's over 100 of exotics, and
Wait, but Destiny 2 has a bank,
yeah,
right?
it's 500 slots.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
Oh,
still
because
limited.
Because they increased it because it used to be very small.
Yeah, I remember.
500
yeah.
though. Yeah,
Yeah,
500 is a lot,
be-
though. Yeah,
that should be enough.
you just
I'm
want to
okay
limit
with
it.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. It's not
500
like it's
is
giving me
kind of a
20.
lot. Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
understand. You don't understand the struggle. I am a hoarder. I am that player that's like, I may need this later.
You might want to hate then on the fact that you're a hoarder rather than on the game mechanic itself.
He's like, these games need to understand that they are gaming hoarders and we need unlimited space.
Listen, I am the one that gets to like max level with the first potion they gave me in the game. Because I might need this later.
You have 99 elixirs in Final Fantasy.
Because I might need this later.
I'm saving it for New Game Plus.
That is great. That is wonderful.
You know what's the best part? Like Final Fantasy VII Remake, I hoarded all of my items. I start in hard mode. You can't use items.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, that's great.
That was the biggest slap in the face I've ever gotten.
Fucking karma.
That is great. Oh my god.
You're definitely going to need them later, but you can't use them.
There you go.
Legendary.
You will never part with them. It'll stay with you.
Yeah. Now you have them forever. You can't use them, but you have them forever.
And the best part is, like, you're playing hard mode. You can't use items, but the game is still giving you items. That's
even worse. That's even worse. Oh my god!
You get Phoenix down. Like, what am I gonna do with this?
That is great. That is so funny.
You there.
That is. Oh my god. All right. So my first one, guys. I'm not sure if you guys agree with me with this, but I think you will. I think that a mechanic in gameplay that needs to go and needs to be on the chopping block, and I think we'll probably make it to the end of this segment with you guys agreeing that this is probably the one that needs to go, and that is your fetch quests. Fetch quests are stupid. No. They are generally, they obviously, I mean, they are stupid, but in the end, it's like, they usually don't, first off, they're meaningless tasks is where they are. They usually put into a game to sort of fatten the game up a little bit so you have more to do when you're not really doing anything. And then when you actually get the item, what's worse actually is when you finally complete said fetch quests and you deliver it to whoever you need to fucking deliver it to, you get an item that is useless to you. You know what I mean? It's like, well, shit, I have a more powerful sword here. This is what this fetch quest was for. They to me are really just, they're not fun. And then you have a lot of massive games, open world games that pad their stuff out with adding a bunch of fetch quests, and suddenly you have 100-hour game because of all that. And it's like, you know what? If you took that out, it wouldn't need to be this long,
Yeah.
By the way, you can create a much more interesting task as opposed to, hey, I need 3 beans so we can make this thing over here. Do you mind going over here and grab that for me? I appreciate it.
To the other side of the world.
Yeah. I need you to go to the furthest ends of the land and give me the mysterious I don't know, xenomorph bean, because that's the only one.
Power. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's like, and then you do it, and there's like no payoff. It's just like, thank you for the 100 gil.
So is the problem the fetch quest, or
yes?
Well, I mean, it's at some
quest.
point. It could sometimes they work as like a plot device. Like you have to go somewhere that only you, the hero, the chosen one, can go to. Or some random bullshit like that. At some point, some of those make kind of sense. It's, especially when you're moving the plot forward. But I get what you're saying. There's a lot of them that are completely like, go and kill me some goats and bring me their meat.
I was gonna say if your plot device involves
You guys are
getting
farmers.
10 pelts from the ghosts of whatever, then you should revisit your story, man.
Yeah.
Because chances are you're not making
Fallout.
a very decent game.
I think was it Fallout 4? Fallout 4 had this weird thing where you can actually get and it would do it on purpose because it was designed so you can see the entire map. Because that's another reason for a fetch quest is so that they
So you
can
can
make
explore
you
more
go
of the
see the area of the map that you may not see normally. And they're like, well, we made all this here. You might as well get them to go there.
Go get
Fallout
something
4
from
did
the
that a lot.
graveyard.
Yeah, Fallout 4 did
Yeah.
that a lot. And what it was doing, hey, I need you to go to this place, or it did it it tried to do it in an interesting way where it was like, well, my sister, she went over here and she got missing, blah, 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 blah. Can you look into it? You go over there. And it was new. It constantly had new quests. Like it was almost like a, what do you call it? Procedurally generated quests. Where it was constantly creating new ones, and it was just randomly choosing spots on the map for you to go there to do whatever the thing was. And that was even worse because it was like, so you're telling me that these are endless fetch quests? Like, no.
Serve no purpose.
Nothing whatsoever. No, thank
you. Or the classic, this settlement needs your help.
The settlement needs your help.
The settlement is under attack or whatever bullshit the guy said.
Yeah, exactly. So fetch quests, chopping block.
Fetch quests need to go. All right, let's kill it. Let's kill it with fire. All right, you know which one can also go to hell?
Mm-hmm.
Having to scavenge. Sorry, I do not enjoy having to. I need to move to this, to this place, and this person is asking me to follow them. And while I'm following them, he's telling me, the story. But I'm in a room that I haven't checked every drawer that I need to make sure that I got all the items. And sure enough, you go into the room that if you would have played right, you would have missed an important item. Like, I hate that. It takes it. This is a trope of a lot of games in general, where it kind of it totally breaks any semblance of immersion when your character has to break character and just play like a fucking game. Be like, oh, okay, I know this. Right now, there is a clock ticking. There's a bomb that is about to go off. But damn it, I need to go off the deep to the side to this room to make sure I'm not missing any weapons over here or any items or any whatever, because it's content. I need to see the content, and it gets it breaks the immersion totally. Again, there are games that I have actually enjoyed quite a bit. Inside, which is one of those games that I believe we chucked to you, Chaos, that you should probably play. Inside, I really like the fact that there was none of that. You're just on a path and you're doing your thing, and you're constantly moving. Arguably also because it's a side scroller game, but it's not, you're not backtracking or anything like that. You're not doing any of that. Not a lot of it, at least. If any. But I find myself playing games where the final, let's say the boss of the level is on the next room and he's waiting for me. He already saw me. But I'm just going to run to the left because I need to make sure that I literally cover every nook and cranny of this particular room to make sure that I'm not missing something.
So the mechanic you're looking to remove is random item drops?
No, just forcing the looking.
Scavenging. Forcing you to scavenge.
Just forcing you to go. Yeah, exactly.
You are definitely not going to like Last of Us 2. Just let you know right now.
Listen, I played Last of Us 1. It's
and you didn't really. You had your complaints there, and just saying, it's. You're literally. It's a survival game, so you're literally having to scavenge because your items are limited anyway. So there really isn't an option. I mean, you don't have to, but
don't give me a character that is talking and is getting farther and farther away from me while he's talking and giving me lore because I have to go into this side place. Like, don't give me that. Make those points obvious. Maybe don't give me a room there that I need to go out and explore or something. I don't know.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Mr. Chaos, your second item for the chopping block.
Invisible walls.
Oh my God!
Listen,
for real,
I understand that the games must have limits. I get it, and not every game is at fault here. There have been games that have creative ways to stop you from going, past the game boundaries, which I
That's
get.
gotten better. Yeah, I agree.
Right. But this thing about having random invisible walls that either dead ass stop you right then and there for absolutely no visible reason, or that let you go off the edge, but then just give you a timer. Go back or you're gonna die because we said
yes.
so.
Battlefield says hi.
Right. It's like why? Listen, just give me a reasonable reason as to why there's why I can go past this line.
What if I want to go AWOL? I mean, why is that not allowed?
Right.
It'll literally kill you. Go AWOL. I think Borderlands 1, I want to say, the first Borderlands had towers on areas where, you're not supposed to cross. No. Now a tower just killed you.
Wow, no, Fallout uses a lot of radiation. Like, past that, there's just so much radiation that you can't live through it. And Fallout 4, because I had an endless supply of batteries, I got into my power armor, and I just wandered off as far as I could, and I don't know if I eventually hit an invisible wall. I think I might have.
Impossible to tell with the radiation, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so we can't kill this guy. I guess we gotta stop him somehow.
Just let him stand there. That's hilarious. All right, yeah, that's a good one. Invisible walls, and I agree that it has been getting better. But yes, on occasion you still find, it's like, guys, take a moment to program something that makes sense here.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Seriously, it shouldn't be that hard.
I agree.
I mean, look, there's flat earthers that think that the South Pole or South Pole, it's an ice wall that covers the entire area. Can't you do something like that?
Yeah, there you go. Makes perfect sense. Make it Game of Thrones. There you go.
Be inspired by the flat or Game of Thrones. It's a much better inspiration. I mean, not like the end was great, but whatever.
I
like it. I like it. Yeah. I mean, I hate it. I hate
it. I like that we hate it. How about that?
There you go.
my second entry to
it's a much more valid complaint than inventory space.
I mean, only because 500 spaces is not enough for you.
Not enough.
I mean, that's really the only. I mean, if we're talking a game that gives you 10, 20, all right, we're on board. But 500, the problem's no longer the game.
Yeah, I think I might have a problem.
Yeah,
for real.
At some point, you need to reevaluate yourself, sir. I'm just saying. My next piece here, guys, is destructible weapons, or degrading weapons.
Yeah.
So
Zelda, the game.
That's one. There are other ones that do this. Some of them do it well enough, and I know I'm probably gonna talk here. You're gonna be like, oh, here he goes, the fanboy of Witcher. Yes, I'm gonna bring up The Witcher. The Witcher, I think, did it in a very smart way, where yes, it did degrade, but it degraded like realistically. Like, you can go on several missions. You can go a while before you need to have it, repaired. Which is realistic. That's exactly how swords are. I mean, they're gonna degrade. They need to be sharpened. They need to be whatever. But breaking, I'm bringing up The Last of Us here because this doesn't make sense. If I have a machete and I'm hacking people, why is it breaking after the fourth or fifth strike? Shouldn't break.
Garbage Dollar Tree
exactly. I'm not sure. This is clearly not Puerto Rican machetes. I'm just saying. Yeah. and then they're broken for good. Yeah, you're like, oh man, I gotta go get another one. Now I can understand. Yeah, I can understand if it's like a wooden beam, like a wooden 2x4 that you're using. Okay, yeah, I'm sure after a few knocks that may break, but a machete, a bat. I'm like, hello, that literally hits baseballs coming at 100 miles an hour many a time. Yes, bats do break, but not after 5 hits. It just doesn't. I'm like, okay, no. Yeah, yes, exactly. A flesh. You're not even hitting something hard. So
it's like iron pipes. They bend after a couple of hits. Like, what the fuck am I hitting with this?
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't make sense. So for me, if it makes sense, I'm okay with it. But when it doesn't, it really, really bugs me. And that's something that like I said, it's like if it's gonna break that quickly, then just don't even include it in the game. We'll use something else. We'll figure something else out. But personally, destructible weapons or degrading weapons that can essentially break and not be used anymore. No, let's leave that shit out of gaming now.
If you think that was bad, don't play Zelda Breath of the Wild at all. Don't even fathom the thought, because it is ridiculous. 3 hits. You hit a character 3 hits with a weapon, and he destroys the weapon. But hey, you can still get more weapons. You can get the enemy weapon. Like, what the fuck? Why? And why is the Master Sword so shitty in that game? Also,
it's not a Master Sword. Huh?
It's not a Master Sword at all, dude. Breath of the Wild, for all these praises, and it's like, wow, because #Nintendo. It's fucking stupid. Some of the decisions, like one of the main decisions, which is, hello, battle. What you want to do in a Zelda game, aside from exploration. So yeah, destructible. Fuck that. Yeah, we should put that first.
It should be. It's on my list. Sir, your third and final entry.
All right, my third and final. I leave the best for last. Fishing! Why the fuck do we have fishing on a video game? What is the purpose of fishing on a video game? If you want to fish, go fish! You don't need to play fishing. Or I guess if you're gonna play a game about fishing, exclusive about fishing, I guess, well, more power to you. That's fine, but
Bassmasters, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. But don't give me fishing mini games on anything. They're all terrible. There's not a single one that is good. They're all fucking awful. The worst. It's a waste of time. Sometimes they make it so that, you want to have the best item, right? You want to have the best item, so you got to collect the golden bass or whatever the hell. It's like, no, you need to fish, and you need to fish a lot. You know how boring fishing is? Well, I don't like fishing. People that like fishing like fishing, but they fish for real.
Yeah,
let me rephrase that. You know how boring is fishing on a video game? Did you know that Nier Automata have fishing in it?
It did?
Yeah.
I don't remember fishing in it. Okay.
Exactly. Because why the fuck? Who cares? It serves no purpose. Like, my God. End this. Like, end it. There's no reason I should be required or even given the option. Like, I don't want it. I don't want to see it. It's stupid. And I know what it is. A lot of video games, a lot of franchises that we come to love come from Japan. In Japan, it's at being an island, and there's a lot of fishing going on. You might say that is the national pastime. and therefore they will include it in games, because they think, well, it's something that everybody does, and everybody, Japan is born with the skill to fish, and they like to do that. So let's put it in Yakuza. Why not? Why would you not want to fish?
Oh, it's
Oh
in
my
Yakuza
God,
too. I don't remember in
it is.
Yakuza. Gosh,
It is in Yakuza, and not
okay.
all of them, I don't think, but it is in a couple of them, and I'm like, why? Why?
In-game fishing. All
And
right.
game fishing is the worst.
I don't know. I don't know if it's
Kill
the
it with
worst,
fire. No, it is.
but
Well,
I don't think I'd miss it if it was gone. So
it
Yeah,
is.
I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Like, I don't think
yeah.
it's the worst, but if it's suddenly gone, I wouldn't shed a tear over it.
yeah, I
That's
don't think I'd miss it.
you know what you know what you guys are right. It's not the worst. Obviously, it doesn't break
I mean, it's the
anything.
worst to you, which makes sense.
It's
but
a break.
it's your
But it's. I tell you what, it breaks. It's a waste of developing time that they could have put on some other feature
something
that
else.
would have been
Mm-hmm.
probably 10,000 times better than fucking fishing. Take away my fishes.
When COVID-19 is over, I'm gonna take you fishing, sir. we're gonna change this in a different way.
All right. Well, you know what?
Right.
But I will accept because you said I'm gonna take you out fishing. You didn't say we're gonna play a fishing game.
Fair enough. That is
go
true.
fish. Chaos,
all right,
go fish.
Mr. Chaos, your
I
life.
am trying to come up with a third one, but I don't know.
You want one? I had like two. I think that I didn't use. I can give you one of them.
Said you want one. If he doesn't agree with it, why would he want it?
He might. No, I think I mentioned it. I think I mentioned it before, which was when I talked about risk reward systems. I think you like that anyway. So
yeah, I was gonna say that's yeah.
I think you're cool with that.
Risk reward systems. I'm like, that's actually a good thing to me personally. Yeah,
and he works in gambling, so I mean, he works at a casino, so I'm sure he.
Well, I mean, I don't. I'm not a big fan of gambling. Like, I honestly, I guess this could be it, but I generally despise RNGs.
RNG? What?
RNG?
Oh, RNG.
Yeah, so you're going to pray to RNGs so you can get whatever drop you want. Like, give me a set of objectives to complete, and I'll do that.
Yes, let me grind and get what I want. I know what I want. Thank you. I don't need a loot box. Yes,
right. Don't give me this. This enemy has a 0.001% chance of dropping this, and you need 10 of them.
That is every MMO ever.
Yeah. Wow.
Like, can I just kill 10 and that's it?
You have it. You have your third one. There you go.
There you go. RNG.
Exactly. Perfect.
RNG.
Way to close it. Nice. It was saved. Yeah, that was awesome. That was a very good one too.
I need complete reform on how MMOs are done, please. Thank you.
Yes, I know. MMOs.
I mean, you know what's to run like for. And now that you bring up MMOs, it's a perfect example. You run a whole raid and get nothing out of it.
Oh, that should not. That should be illegal.
That should be illegal. Now you got to wait an entire week for the reset to run this again, and hopefully it won't take 4 hours.
That is, that is teaching kids about gambling. You know what? You're gambling your time. I said no. I said regulation.
I like it. That's actually a good one. And I can get behind that one too.
I can get behind that. 100%. 100%.
On the chopping block.
You are lucky in that one.
Hey, better lucky than good.
Hey, that would work. My last one, guys. I know that there's a term for it. I can't recall what it is. But what's the mechanic that they put in certain games is a hunger bar or thirst bar or sleep bar. Yes. What is that called? I feel like there's a name for that.
Isn't it survival mechanics?
Well, it's definitely types of survival games.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking. I was like, but that sounds so like too open ended.
Yeah.
It's but yeah, let's just call this surviving those particular survival mechanics.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I can't even imagine if they were to introduce something like that into like any survival horror game where it's just like, yeah, oh, by the way, on top of being chased by these zombies, you also make sure you want to eat and drink and, you know, find a corner somewhere so you can sleep a few hours. Otherwise, your character will get, you know, dizzy or whatever. It's like, no.
While not getting shot.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
eaten.
Yeah. All the while, you also make sure you don't want to get, you know, devoured by whatever. Those honestly, that was this this War of Mine. That's I think that's.
Oh my god! But that game is that.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I was so into getting that. I have the game technically, and I was so like really ready to get into and to just really get into this game, you know. And no, dude, I couldn't get past that particular mechanic. It's like, God, I got to fucking do this again. I got to make sure we got this, and I know that's his point, and I get that. Yeah. But it's just like, oh, man, I wanted to know more about the story, more about the characters, but I kept getting, you know, blocked by. I need to fucking.
I care about the characters, but not enough to having to feed them.
No. That's why I never got into The Sims. I'm like, all my Sims will die. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna fucking feed you. The kitchen's right there. What the hell? So
make yourself something, you lazy ass.
Make yourself a fucking sandwich. What the hell? You know. So So those type of mechanics. I don't know if they should go.
By the way, Father of the Year.
Whatever. My son can take care of himself. So yes, you're welcome.
He was basically he had to employ survival techniques.
He did.
He did very well. Good job. That's what I said. Father of the Year. That's why I said it.
So I don't know if they should go away. I remember playing Don't Starve, which is another one.
It's in the title.
It's literally in the title, yeah. So it's just like, and I was playing it for a while. I said, this is cool, but man, that one thing I have to constantly worry about, you know, it becomes an annoyance. You know what I mean? As opposed to and maybe it's just my own view, but really for me, don't go putting that shit into you know, all games. Maybe it can go to its particular type of games, but
it was optional on Fallout New Vegas because you have to actually activate a mode that will activate that will make it survival.
Yeah, that will make it survival. I remember that, and I remember hearing. I was like, no, thank you, thank you.
People like that shit, but not.
I mean, it's cool because it adds a level of realism, and I get that. You know what I mean? Obviously, if you're traversing an open world for I don't know how long, you're gonna be tired. You're gonna have to stop and eat something. I that was something that you had to do in Metal Gear Solid 3. That you had to
Snake Eater.
And go figure that Snake Eater is my favorite of the Metal Gears. You know what I mean? So that particular mechanic wasn't outright in your face. You know, I think that's really what it was. You did need to do it, but it wasn't something that was just constant. You know, it was like every 5 minutes I gotta fucking eat a fucking piece of snake because otherwise this dude's gonna fucking pass out, you know? So
it's in the title, Snake Eater.
Yeah, I know. But that one right there didn't bother me so much. Obviously I consider it my favorite Metal Gear, but yeah, so yeah, that's my my third and last to put on the chopping block. And honestly, guys, I think we have a good selections here of stuff that really should go.
It was better than I expected.
I would say.
Ubisoft and Activision, I'm gonna need you to take note, please.
Naughty Dog, you need to resign.
Yeah. That's hilarious. Oh man! All right. Any final thoughts on?
I think we got a solid list. I think
pretty good on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of people will probably agree with us too. So I think we're nailing it, guys. I think we're nailing it. All right. Well, guys, thanks so much for tuning in to an awesome real episode 219 of GG's a Mouthful Podcast. As always, once again, guys, please go to goodgame.rocks, join the conversation there, and please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone. This is Mad Dog signing off for this week, saying, please, guys, stay safe. COVID is still happening. Floridians, What the fuck is wrong with
Stop
you?
being Floridians.
I mean, it's not just Floridian. I'm in Florida, and I'm
I know.
a Floridian, so I can say this. I hear it's happening in Texas and a bunch of other states as well. Yeah. But the reality is, guys, it never went away. So that's why it's coming back with a vengeance, because everybody just forgot for whatever reason and just moved on. So just stay safe. Keep practicing social distancing, and watch Hamilton, and we should be good. Yeah. Mr. Chaos Reaper.
The future is uncertain. I don't know if I'll be here for next week, but I'm hoping I will be.
We are saying prayers that you will be. So.
I will let you guys know. In the meantime, I will be playing a lot of Destiny 2, probably streaming some of it, so keep an eye out for that.
That's the way to get
Good Game Group on twitch.tv. Yes. Mr. David Santos, take us home.
Horseback riding. Fuck horseback riding games. It should go away. Most often than not, it's terrible because your horse is uncontrollable. All right? You can't make it go wherever you want. There are only like 2 games that have gotten it right, and one of them is The Witcher by a little bit.
No. Sorry, no. The horse mechanics. Sorry, Roach. The horse mechanics when I think of like Red Dead Redemption 2 and yes, Last of Us 2. No,
they're terrible.
No, what I'm saying is, in comparison to Last of Us 2 and Red Dead Redemption 2, the horse mechanics from Witcher 3 are bad.
Are terrible. Are bad. Oh shit. Well, I haven't played either one of those, so I probably don't know better. I do know of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and that shit will allow you to put your horse on autopilot, and that was great if you needed to go to the kitchen real quick, grab a sandwich, and you didn't have to worry about it. You didn't have to worry about your fucking horse suddenly becoming sentient and deciding like, no, you know what? I know you want me to go to Athens, but I'm gonna go here to Kissimmee, rather. I don't want to go there, So yeah. Fuck horseback riding on video games in general. Except apparently The Last of Us 2 and Red Dead Redemption. Well, shit, if you didn't get it on Red Dead Redemption right, problem.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because that is basically horseback riding.
That's okay, because they got driving wrong in Grand Theft Auto games, I heard. So,
all right, guys. Well, on that note, we'll see you guys next week. GG!